and this is the Untitled Podcast. Cut. Fuck me. Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
That's one genuinely asked, what's your views on threesomes?
Next. I've been stopped in search 3 times, right? I couldn't even tell my mum. There's times I think about it and I just break down.
Thank you for being so open and sharing your story.
It, man. Yeah.
Hello.
Good evening.
Right. Should we start?
Let's start, man.
How's your week been?
It's been all right.
Yeah?
Could have gone better.
Right.
Working.
Oh, let's turn on the air. Oh, aircon turns off at the exact time we need it to. This is why we love pirate.com studios.
Right. You just run out of superlatives to pirate, don't you?
Do you know what I mean?
Unbelievable it is.
My
week.
Yeah.
It's been all right. Been working hard. Always work hard. But can't really complain. I'm here. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm with you two. I mean, Man United haven't been great.
We'll get into that.
But
we'll also get into this amazing shirt that I'm wearing.
Do you know what? It's
a beautiful shirt, isn't it?
It's a good
You
shirt.
don't want to admit it, but you do at the same time.
Shirt. It's a good shirt.
Do you know what I've realised? Every videographer I know is a Tottenham fan. Lewis last week. We got the amazing Jay Young in tonight.
Thank you.
Big up Jay Young. Do you want to say anything? Tottenham lost today.
Go fuck yourself.
Big up Aston Villa. Villa doing the business. Yes, sir.
Business we needed today. Jay will be joining the podcast in a couple of weeks because he's got some important shit to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But for today, you're just a sad Tottenham fan.
There will be no Tottenham jokes made, by the way.
No. None about the cock and ball club.
Chicken on the basketball.
Rock kick both.
Just end the whole thing.
Yeah, I will go to jail.
Don't worry, you're not the one they're going to send to jail. Moving on. How was your week, Adam?
My week has been great.
I can tell. Nice shirt.
I think let's do what we did last week. My name's Adam Savva.
I'm Paul Gialo.
And this is the Untitled Podcast. Before we begin, before I talk about my week, I think we should talk about what happened Friday, where the most amazing thing happened.
So, before you even, I was in a meeting. I was on a call, right? And I've got about 5 messages from this guy on WhatsApp. I've got like 3 on Twitter. I've got like 2 missed calls, and I'm like, I'll give him a call back. But what the hell? Like, bear in mind, he never blows up my phone like this.
What? How many times did I call you today?
Don't lie. I'm like, can't swear, but I'm like,
you can swear.
Something's gone on. Like, this guy is like telling me that someone's pregnant or something, and turns out, go on, you can break the.
I can break the news. Our inspiration for this podcast, and an inspiration for me as a man, tweeted us. Well, shouted us out on Twitter, and the amazing man that is Brian, aka True Geordie, shouted us out on Twitter. I'll put a little screenshot of it right here because I took about 4 screenshots of it
to make sure it's real.
Yeah,
make sure it didn't get deleted.
I remember I was walking up the stairs and I've got Twitter notifications on for him. I was like, oh, he's tweeted, because I know Fridays he does poker in the evening, like he does live stream poker with Laurence and the team. And I saw that it said, "Nice one, mate. Good luck on your journey, bro." I sound like such a fanboy right now. But when a guy is an inspiration for you, and even, you know, it means a lot. It means a lot,
hard, doesn't it?
And I was like, well, who's he talking about? And I went on the tweet and I just see my face in my video of us talking about saying thank you to him. Bro, I just stopped on the stairs. Was like, did that really just happen?
Yeah.
I was so confused. And then the tweet just blew up. Like, it's on like 50,000 views at the moment, that video. His tweet got like 1,000 likes. Our tweet got like 300 likes or 400 likes. The video increased in views overnight. So I have to say massive thank you to True Geordie, and also a massive thank you to Laurence McKenna for reaching out afterwards and just taking the time out of his day to message me. That meant so much to me. I told them both that in their last podcast they talk about if they've left a legacy. Now that Laurence is a father, he it was something I was pondering over, and I told him, like, look, you definitely have, because
This is it.
this is it. Like, for me, I everything I do, filmmaking, writing, acting, coaching, I look at people that inspire me. Podcasting, it's them. And for them to take the time out of their day and even just send me a message like that, huge thank you. Huge thank you.
Yeah, you mentioned legacy. I think, certainly for me anyways, that's what you want to give to the world. You know, people say this all the time, but it's when you leave the earth or when you leave a job or whatever it is, how will you be remembered?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's massive. That kind of thing's massive, you know, and I'm sure they're in the same vein of thinking that I am, that if you can inspire one person,
You've done enough.
that's it.
Do you know
if
what I
you
mean?
can change one life, change someone's opinion on something, it's the way someone looks at the world, the way someone looks at life, then crazy.
Yeah. And even to Gio, who works behind the scenes at the True Geordie channel, for liking the tweet. And I know it's stupid, but again, it's recognizing.
It means a lot.
It means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah.
To Chip Fat, Sidemen's editor, me and him had a great conversation on Twitter. Which, bro, I was so, like, because that guy's in editing skills. I don't know if you've seen the Sidemen. Like, his edits are like, it makes, like, whenever I edit, I'm like, oh, fuck, it's not Chip. This guy is insane.
He's the
So a big thank you to him for even reaching out as well and messaging me such great things about the podcast. One thing he said is that our chemistry is great. And I said, I don't even know the guy across from me.
Yeah, who
Who are you? Something we actually didn't talk about in the last podcast that we think we should cover today is how we met. And
this is crazy.
but yeah, I want to end it on a massive thank you to True Geordie, Laurence McKenna, Gio, Chip Fat. Thank you so much. Thank you to all from everyone who came from the True Geordie channel onto the podcast. Thank you to everyone who downloaded the first episode, watched the first episode. Means a lot. Just a reminder, we are on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes Podcast, Amazon Music, TuneIn. We're on everywhere and everywhere.
London Underground. Also, just off that as well, a massive thank you to everyone who's reached out to me in support of the podcast. You know, it's overwhelming almost. I didn't expect it to get that kind of reaction, but honestly, friends, family, it means so much more than you'll ever think.
Yeah.
You know, it means so much more than you'll ever think that you just find this, a conversation between two mates, worthy of your time. It's hard to put into words how much that means to me, but, you know, you guys will never know how much it means, not just to me, actually, to us, because I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I mean, I had so many people, family, non-family, friends,
yeah.
just telling me, this is great, you should really, like, invest into it and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this
stuff that keeps you going.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with everything I do, I think there's an element of, am I making people proud, or am I, what's the right word for it? Like, when someone gives you praise, it's funny how far it can go, even if it's just a message, or even it's just like, bro, that's mental, that's amazing.
And to them, it's words. And I always have this thing, right? And I always say it. Words are intangible, right?
Yeah.
You can't pick up a word or throw a word or whatever, but you can structure words or form words to make someone feel a certain way. And I think that is beautiful. And it's beautiful because the person saying the words, the person emitting those words, probably doesn't even know how much they mean. Like, I'm throwing words at you now that I'm probably taking for granted, the ability to speak or whatever. But, you know, if you can say something, it might be a little thing, but it can mean so much. And that's why I think the reaction was so overwhelming, because people probably just saying it because I'm their mate or whatever, but it does
still
mean
means a lot.
It means the world.
And I think sometimes
to me.
it means even more, because it's like, oh, I've made someone who I have a love for.
Yeah. Someone whose opinion I value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when it comes from an external source, immediately it's a completely different feeling of like for True Geordie, for example, I really value his opinion, because his podcasts, I like I've said to you, how many times have I sent you a podcast of his going, oh, we should try this camera angle, we should try that.
For real, yeah.
So when he's even just a good luck mate, like that's huge.
It's crazy.
But when it comes from a mate that I play football with, or even Jay here in the room, even like you said, oh, the intro video was amazing. That really meant a lot to me.
I mean, it was just different. Like, I don't know, just it felt like upbeat, and you was already mates with the people like before you even like got into the podcast.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, and I guess that's what we're trying to get across.
That's what I'm like I said.
A chat. Really.
Because someone was like to me, so what's it about? And I was like, I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it.
And that's the exciting thing.
That's the point. And that's why I think I love the fact that we call it Untitled. Because it's like it can go anywhere and everywhere.
To the moon.
Yeah. And it's funny, like I was speaking to someone and I said, yeah, like I said to someone, I want to have an OnlyFans. Again, OnlyFans comes up. And she's not here yet. But this is it. They were like, why don't you bring an OnlyFans model that's a guy in? Because that's an interesting that's an interesting sector to tackle. As a man, that's an interesting thing to talk about.
Agreed.
So it'd be interesting to have a girl and a boy from it, from a man and woman, I should say.
Yeah.
But
police. I'm not with this one. I'm not with him. That's his own man.
Oh my God. That is getting cut. Fuck me. Jesus. Oh my God! Wow!
Oh mate, that's brilliant.
That's the funniest, and
that's so good.
You're a wanker.
So good. That is so good. That's so good. That was so good.
Oh man! Right. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Should we talk about your top first?
Oh well, this is fresh. I don't know which camera.
Go to that one.
This one.
Is that still recorded?
Powerhouse
Lovely.
Football Club, Hadley Wood. It's got to give credit to a mate of mine. Actually, this is his brainchild, and he's got a wonderful, wonderful vision for this. So grassroots club, connected obviously with the agency, but the aim is to just create an environment where kids can just come and have fun, man, come and develop, because that's what football should be at this age. But in an environment where you're pushed,
yeah.
And again, credit to my mate Massey. He is incredible, and I love him for till we die. But this is just a piece of clothing, but it represents something bigger. It represents him having an idea and it coming to fruition at the moment.
I can say that about Mass as well.
Yeah,
and this is just going to turn into a massive
appreciation
ego
podcast. Yeah, for real.
Mass's ego is going to go through the roof here.
Head,
but I can say that with him, like his vision is exceptional when it comes to this kind of stuff.
He wants to push everything to the moon. He's always aiming high, and that inspires me, man.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Football Club, Hadley Wood, under 7s to under 14s. Anyone want to come down for a few sessions? Just
it's important to say that there will be a few coaches there.
Oh yeah, a few coaches that you might know, no names. But yeah, listen, come down, you'll love it. And yeah, shout out to Mass for this one.
Yeah,
and I look, come on,
fucking fly.
Let's go. Yes sir.
Red for the Arsenal.
Man United. You talking about Arsenal?
1-1 Fulham, yeah. To be fair, we lost to Fulham as well this season.
Oh, man.
We lost to. But these relegation teams, they've got nothing to lose. They're going to play to play in the Premier League next year.
And Man United are walking the Europa League final.
Well, I'm telling you, we're coming back. What day is that? Is that a Thursday?
Wednesday.
Right. I think we come back on. I think we do a live. If we can do a live stream that night,
wait,
that'll be huge.
All right, cool. Because now I put my.
I'm telling you, you're not winning that final. I think Villarreal are gonna sleep you lot.
I'll see you next week.
Is it next week?
26, yeah.
Jesus, May's gone quick, man.
Rapido of him.
Speaking Spanish already for the Europa League final.
You know me. Well, it's in Gdansk because I'm gonna have to learn some Polish.
I'm gonna have to study the Warzone map. Gdansk. Who usually thinks winning the Champions League final? I mean, we've still got a week, but
I want Chelsea to win it.
You want? You're a United fan. I forget.
Can't bear Man City winning, man. They're too good.
I'm on the other side because I support a London club, so I want City to win.
And Dad's a Chelsea fan. My brother's a Chelsea fan. Just
interesting.
It'll be a good vibe. Good evening. Good vibes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. The 2012, 13 did Chelsea. No, 12 Chelsea won it in. Champions League final was on my dad's birthday, and that was just vibes, bro. Like whole families round, and Chelsea won obviously, which was awesome. But yeah, I'm going Chelsea again. Even though
I'll be fuming if they win.
Man City are just a different beast. Do you know what I mean? But he's beaten him twice now, hasn't he?
What, Tuchel?
Yeah, he's beaten him twice.
Yeah.
So
it's a shout. It's possible.
Chelsea, do it. Mason Mount, my boy, Money Mace.
I can't wait to watch the kickoff and watch Rory from the kickoff just go, because he's a massive Chelsea fan, right? And he's going to go ballistic if Chelsea win. But I can't bear the fact that Chelsea might win and they've only had Tuchel for what? 3 months? 2 months? What is it? When did Lampard leave?
Jan, wasn't it? 4 months.
So
almost.
yeah, man. Like
Not long at
Arteta
all.
needs to be the only manager that won a trophy.
Champions League as well. Is it?
Champions.
But yeah,
I don't see it happening. I see
Really?
City not walking. I think that it'll be a 1-0.
no, I think it'll be a really tight game. It'll
Yeah.
be interesting though,
Because Tuchel's going to go all out because he lost the FA Cup horribly. We need to talk about that.
whatever direction it does go in, it'll be a tight game. I think.
But I think Guardiola and City need this more than Chelsea do.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I think
Chelsea needs to finish in top 4. That's their main goal
Yeah.
this season. Do they need a Champions League this year? No. Everyone does,
everyone wants a Champions League. Yeah.
do they need it more than Guardiola, who's been struggling in Europe with City for, 4 years?
5 years, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Does he not need it more?
Question to both of you: if Pep wins the CL, is he the best ever?
In the Prem? Or the best ever?
Best ever. Now, the problem with saying someone's the best ever, especially in football, which is a subjective sport, but by saying someone's the best, you're objectifying it, even though Lionel Messi is the best player to ever play football. But
No, I'm Portuguese and I still have to back that.
nice. Is he the best ever? If he does it, personally,
No.
I think
He's up there.
I think he would be top 3, 2. I don't even know who the other 2 are, but it'd be very hard to deny. Like, it's very hard to make the case against it.
Shall I tell you why it's such a hard thing? Because for me, the best ever that's ever done it is Ferguson. And I hate to say that because I'm an Arsenal fan, but Ferguson is just a different breed. And I can't wait to watch this documentary about him
that's
coming
gonna
out.
be unreal, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sky Sports? Or was it Sky Docs?
I have no idea. I've seen the trailer though.
It looks
Man United posted
insane.
it, but yeah, it's
Looks
unreal.
beautiful. Like the way it's shot, everything, and like, the story's going to tell it. Because it tells a story about when he had a really what happened to him. He was really
Was it an aneurysm? No, it wasn't an aneurysm. It was something to do with his brain.
Something, yeah. And we was all kind of. I remember when Wenger retired and he done that speech. The first thing he said was shout out, well, not shout out to my bro Fergie. But he, like it was during that time. I remember the whole world was just like, "Fuck, are we going to lose the legend that is the manager?" And for someone to have an impact like that on every team, Ferguson's the best ever for me. Because what he did was transform a club.
Longevity of it as well. Was
and just
nuts.
for years.
30 years.
And my next point is this. God, I'm such an Arsenal fanboy. But if Wenger won that Champions League, he'd be the second best. But he didn't. If there was VAR on that day, we would have won it. Just saying.
Seems to be a common theme with Arsenal. We could have done this. We should have done this.
I mean, I can't really chat.
But you
I've got
didn't.
won silver in like 25 years.
But you did. Spurs fan trying to join the convo.
Was last week's filmed after the Carabao Cup? I can't remember.
Carabao was ages ago. You mean FA Cup?
Oh yeah.
Carabao was.
It just feels very recent.
Yeah.
to me.
Time.
Yeah, but if Wenger won that Champions League, he'd be the second best for me. Because to maintain Champions League football for 23 years straight,
That's nice.
and the style of football, he transformed the game at one point. And to be a foreign manager come into the league and go invincible, come on.
Isn't there a stat to this day that an English manager still hasn't won the Premier League or something like that? Unless
Must
I'm
be.
bugging.
I can't think of one.
I can't think of one. It's mad, isn't it?
Who's won the Premier in the last 10 years? Yeah, no one.
No one
No one
English.
English.
Yeah.
Come on, England. Fucking hell.
Hey, Euros though. Nah. No
Who's
chance.
all right?
France.
I got a topic for us to just talk.
Go on.
You think France is going to win it?
France.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not just being subjective here. I think
Go on.
Portugal win the
you
Euros
think?
this year again.
Do you know what? The only reason I'd want Portugal to win is for my boy Bruno's arrogance to just go. He's untouchable if they win the Euros.
I think Portugal win it again, or Portugal all out in the World Cup in 2 years or 1 year, whenever.
Next year.
Next
Fair.
year.
Nuts, isn't it?
Isn't the Euros this year still called Euros 2020?
That's a very good question.
Like why? Why?
I
It's
don't know.
2021. Like yes, we missed a year. We're not just going back in time now. It's still being called Euros 2020. Do you know what I mean? No, Portugal win the Euros. If they don't, they win the World Cup next year.
Fair enough.
That's my view.
Good squad though.
The Portugal squad is basically Wolverhampton Wanderers
Yeah.
and
Talent.
a few amazing players like
Yeah,
João Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo's last few
Diaz.
tournaments. Ruben Diaz. Come on. João Cancelo.
Oh my god.
Who we got in
Bernardo
midfield?
Silva.
Oh,
Bruno
mate.
Fernandes.
That team is
Ruben Neves.
that team is exceptional.
Ruben Neves.
England have got a good shout. England have got a good team
England
this year
will
as
be
well.
up there.
But
I just
this is
think
not-
France are too strong, bro.
I know.
My boy Benzema.
But my problem with France is they've got good single players, but as a team unit, I don't see it working. I see a lot of individuals. I don't see a team.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, case could be made, but I think
It's an exceptional team though.
every single player that played at that World Cup is young enough to play at this Euros and potentially next year at the World Cup. I just think
It's a shout.
I just think Mbappe is going to be
Oh my
23, 22 this year, whatever it is. Pogba's still only 28. Kante's still going. Griezmann's hasn't even touched 30, I don't think. I just think that squad is still... And they've got like Camavinga coming through and
Might move to Arsenal,
Dombele. Even the players that aren't going, like
Benzema got another call up. As well.
Benzema's going. Martial isn't going. There's loads of
What about
players.
defence though?
Loads of players. I think cases could be made that it is.
You know
a
what I mean?
weak
I look
point, but you
at the Portugal team and I can see strong units at the back. And you got to think, Cancelo and Ruben Diaz have been playing together.
Yeah, true.
They're going to start together.
Yeah, but you also got to look at got Zuma,
Yeah.
Varane,
Yeah. Oh.
Longley, who's
Longlegs. No, he's hard.
Mendy,
Hard.
Pavard, Lucas Hernandez. Yeah, bro, ridiculous.
I don't know. I think I see Portugal in. They're in the same group, aren't they?
I believe
France
so.
and Portugal.
Believe
So that should be interesting. They're both getting through.
Yeah.
Isn't Germany in that same group as well?
I don't know off the top of my
That'd
head.
be interesting.
But I think Portugal and France were.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Who's in your 26-man World Cup squad for England?
We're gonna be here all day.
Do start in 11. Do start in 11.
Jordan Pickford.
Really? Over Pope?
Yeah. Jordan
I go
Pickford.
Pope.
Right back, Kyle Walker. Centre halves, Maguire and Stones, depending on if Maguire's fit. Left back, Luke Shaw. I go midfield 3 of Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount, and Jack Grealish.
Interesting.
And my front 3 is Rashford, Kane, Sterling. That's my front 3.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Foden doesn't get in?
I don't think he starts personally.
Okay.
I don't think he's better than Mason Mount. I don't think he's better than Jack Grealish.
Interesting.
But he's but like if you follow me on Twitter, you know how much I love
Foden's exceptional.
Philly Foden. But yeah, I don't think he gets in there. What about you?
I go Pope in goal.
Yeah.
I think Pickford's great, but I prefer Pope.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Right back, I don't go Kyle Walker.
Who'd you go? Reece James?
Alexander
Trent.
Arnold.
Oh my gosh.
I think the attacking play he gives down
Trent's
that right hand side.
For me, Trent's the best right back in the country. I think.
Yeah, I think he and I think people shit on his defensive qualities a little too much. Like that last game, who did he play last week? Who did Liverpool play? Was it West Brom?
United, didn't they?
West Brom or something like. His last few weeks as defensive has been great. Yes, attacking he's always been exceptional, but he's been good as a defensive right back as well.
I'd go Kyle Walker just because I love
More
Kyle
experience.
Walker and he's established, yeah. But Trent, look,
Exceptional.
I think if you told me to change Walker for Trent, I wouldn't ask any
care,
questions.
yeah.
I wouldn't ask any
Centre
questions.
backs I go Maguire, Stones. Left back I go Shaw. This is where it gets hard. I put Henderson in, even though he hasn't played too much in the last few weeks.
Or, yeah, if Henderson doesn't go, you stick Rice there.
Yeah,
Rice.
I put both as holding.
Oh, really?
I play a 4-2-3-1, I think, and I go Rice and Henderson at the back. In front of them, I go Mount. No. Yeah, I go Mount. Left wing, I go Foden. Right wing, I put Rashford.
Really?
And up front, Kane.
So you're not starting Sterling or Sancho?
Or Bellingham.
Let's just move on.
No one talked Bellingham as
Jude
well.
Bellingham, baller. Let's move on. We're going to be here all day. Go on.
So do you think being exceptional, like, I don't know, let's say attacking, do you think that makes people look at like someone's defending and being like, oh, because they're so good at attacking,
Yeah.
they're not like you look at their defense and it's average, but because
Yeah.
they're so good at defending or like attacking,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just look shit at
Again,
they
it
are.
depends.
Okay.
It depends on the opponent as
Yeah,
well.
I think in terms of balance, I think Reece James is the best right back we have.
Agreed.
In terms of actual like balance,
He's good in both
he's
areas.
good. He's
Whereas
like-
Alexander Arnold is excellent attacking, I don't want to say decent, but decent defending, and then Walker.
Wan-Bissaka as well. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you want balance in a squad, you go James.
Reece James.
But you
100%.
can't leave out Walker or Alexander-Arnold.
Trent, yeah.
Southgate's got hard Euros coming up.
Yeah. But this is the thing, right? I think it's now or never almost
for England. I mean, it's the best squad they've had for ages.
That's a bit of a hyperbole, but yeah, they've got to try and do the business.
It's the best squad they've had for ages.
Yeah, they've got to try and lose to France in the final. I think that's a successful tournament.
Really?
I think if they lose to France in the final, give it a go.
Interesting.
My boy Pogba.
How old is Pogba now?
4 goals, 28 now. 93,
So
baby.
he's still got a few years.
93, baby, yeah.
Do you think he finishes his career at Man U?
I don't, but I think he has another couple of years at Man U. Obviously, he's up next year, depending on whether he signs a new deal or not. But I love Pogba. Like,
last thing on football, because I know last time we spoke about football for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Where does Kane go this year? Because he's leaving.
You know what I'm going to say. Harry Kane, come to the trap.
You think he's coming to United?
Come to Old Trafford. OT.
After the way we played.
I think...
He's definitely going.
I personally think Cavani, last year of his contract, he's done unbelievable this season. Have him as a bit of an impact player. But do you know what? Forget all of that. Forget all the semantics, yeah? If you've got the chance to bring in Harry Kane, you bring in Harry Kane. I don't care who it upsets. Like, it's like if you could afford Lionel Messi, but you knew it would upset Nicky Pepe, would you bring him in?
Yeah.
Facts. At the end of the day, it's business.
It's business. It's just business. It's just business. It's nothing personal. Sorry to whoever Kane takes over, but it's just business. Although that's what I want to happen.
Right.
If he goes to Man City,
I think they've won the league already.
We're screwed. The rest of the league is screwed. Because Aguero is probably going to leave, going to go to Barca or whatever.
I think Aguero goes to... Yeah, I think he goes Barca.
If Harry Kane joins Man City, if he joins Pep Guardiola, if he joins Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling and Ilkay Gundogan and John Stones and Ederson...
Does the rest of the Premier League doesn't have a shot in it?
We're going to get blown out of the water. Harry Kane is a 30-goal-a-season striker in a bad season.
Yeah.
In a bad season, he gets 30 goals.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. Like, I hate seeing people hate on Kane.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I mean, he's an Arsenal fan, so I can't hate on him.
He is so good. And you won't appreciate it because he's not won the trophies or whatever. But he is an unbelievable... Like, I saw him hit the post the other day, but it was from a stupid angle, from a stupid distance. And I think Gary Neville said it as well. He's like, it's ridiculous what he can do with a ball.
Yeah, I know.
It is like, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. He is unbelievable. I think if you got the chance to bring Harry Kane in, bruv, sell the stadium. Yeah. Bring Harry Kane in. You can play on the local park.
He didn't even hit the post. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it was a save, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He tipped it onto the post. Yeah, of course. But did you see the angle and the distance of the shot, bro? Nuts.
Want to slap Dele. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Dele, don't. Dele,
that's my boy. That's my boy.
He's a sick player, man. I love Mourinho, but he didn't give him a shot, man.
But
you're not feeling the hairstyle.
He hit that post.
Oh, I saw on the rebound. Yeah.
Granted, it's a rebound.
No. I know. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what you're talking about, right? Yeah. He's got to score them. Got to score them.
But I'm in love with that.
I think 3 things happen with Kane this year, depending on if Corona's still here or not. Hear me out. Depending on the mood of the country, it's either that he does a Sol Campbell when he comes to Arsenal.
Right.
That would be insane.
That would be one for the, like...
If that happens...
Twitter, that day...
North London derby will be the biggest North London derby to date.
Harry Kane's going to... Yeah.
Judas signs that the signs that
to
they
be
have for
fair,
Sol Campbell.
he won't even have to move house if he joins Arsenal.
I'm saying.
So that's a bonus.
Or he goes to City. I don't think he goes United. I think he goes City.
It's wishful thinking that he goes United, I think.
And it comes down to if he wants to be a Premier League legend or a world legend. Because I think he wants to beat the Shearer goal tally.
I think he's already a Prem legend though as well.
Yeah. He's just
but if he goes City, he's gonna explode.
Yeah. I think he either goes City or he goes PSG and joins up with Poch.
Nasty. In the French league as well. Not this in the French league, but he's
amazing.
Neymar, Kane, and Mbappe.
Different. different caliber.
Disgusting. And that gives PSG an extra bit in the Champions League as well.
Yeah. And I think that's the main goal for PSG next year.
Yeah.
They've
done everything they need to do.
But they might not win Ligue
in
1 this
domestic.
year.
They haven't, I don't think. I think it's going down to the wire.
Last
But
game.
Lille need a win.
And
to win the
PSG
game.
need them to lose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Lille win it,
Great
and if
story.
Barca and Real Madrid don't win the La Liga this year.
But I don't think Barca can anymore.
Really?
I might be horribly wrong. I know they're third and they're lagging quite a bit behind, but it's between Atletico and Real.
I think Athletic, and this is what I was saying to my mate the other day about Chelsea, right? And just about the league this season. This season for me just doesn't count because everything's just happening crazily. Like Arsenal being, I know, yes, fuck the Cronkies, but like this season, and this is just for everything, right? Not even just for football, for film, like. I was watching TV with my dad the other day and he goes, there's just nothing on TV anymore. And I goes, well, we was in a lockdown for ages. Nothing was filmed. Football, we was out for 6 months and then we were back to finish half a league. We had water breaks. And I know that was last season, but this season just feels rushed, the congestion. This season for me just didn't count. And I'm not just saying that because City won the league, but it just feels like a weird season. So that anything that happens, I'm just like, yeah, sure. Arsenal don't get Europe, sure.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Tottenham sell Kane, sure. City win the league, yeah, sure. But look, they didn't even win it. They can't even win it with 90 points. They can only win it with 89. And they can't even do that now. They can only go 86, right?
No, I don't know.
I think.
We'll have to fact
But
check this.
that's insane because...
But to be fair to them, 86 points
It's
10
still great.
10 years ago would have won you the league.
Right, but look at the caliber of football now.
Exactly.
Like the other day, they were saying, and I'm not just saying this because there's a Tottenham fan in the room, but they were saying the other day, the big six now is Leicester and all the rest. Tottenham aren't in it anymore. But I just say, why don't just expand that to a big seven? Because Tottenham are still a huge
Tottenham
club.
will always be a massive club.
Do you know what I mean? No matter if they don't win anything, like Tottenham is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Tottenham are still a big club.
But it's facts. It's
You like players abroad go, yeah, I know Tottenham Hotspur.
Also, for the people in the comments, I'm recently starting getting like back into football, so I don't know all the history. So don't come at me for not like.
Yeah, Jay's a new Tottenham fan,
Yeah.
so he's
I'm just a new football
You can't
fan.
accuse him of being a glory hunter.
yeah. If he's followed Tottenham now, you're huge. Okay, cool.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. I'm just gonna double check all the cameras quickly, and then we'll be back.
Are you hungry?
Snickers.
Well, eat some bloody food.
That's what you said last time as well.
Yeah, that's the ad. That's the default ad.
Oh, psychology and shit.
Welcome back to the podcast. What are you doing?
See, you do that.
What are you doing?
I plead the fifth.
On Tuesday, I put out on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, aj.savva. Do you want to shout your Instagram?
Paul CG5. Actually, no, I changed it. At Champagne Puppy.
You did not do that. Oh, you dickhead. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. He's an idiot.
Nah, at Paul CG5.
I put out if there's any topics. I also asked for emails. If you want to email anything down below, the podcast, the email will be down below.
No abuse, though.
No abuse,
No
please.
abuse, because then after I can't find you. And then get my dad to sort you out.
We had about 40 responses.
Huh?
I know.
40?
It's insane, right?
What the?
And I took a screenshot of some. Some are a little really...
Risque.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few sex ones.
Oh, God.
I didn't screenshot those ones.
Nah, yeah. Good.
One
Good
was
boy.
one genuinely asked, what's your views on threesomes?
Next. Wow.
Yeah, we won't answer that one.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think I just shout one out at you, and you tell me any advice or anything, and we'll go with
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay. There's loads of pictures of my dog, and here's the screenshot.
Wait, you have a dog?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've shown you my dog.
No, you haven't.
My dad's dog.
Don't do that shit.
I've shown you my dad's
No,
dog.
you haven't. Nah.
He's had a dog longer than he's known me.
I've never seen that dog in my life.
She's beautiful, man.
That is a very pretty dog.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because when I first met him, all he would ever do is
This
show
guy's hit.
photos
This
of
guy.
dogs.
This guy's hidden his dog. Do you know what? This isn't even gonna make it. Let's just carry on. I'm frazzled.
Oh, funny story. Quick picture. I'm going to put this picture up. Actually, no, because my mum's in it. A fox just broke into my garden the other day and completely ripped my goal net up.
Raw.
Gutted.
Leicester.
Oh,
Leicester celebrating the FA Cup win.
The Foxes.
I'm here all week. I'm actually here all week.
You're on one tonight. Okay, I got one.
Go on,
here.
man.
I lost it. Is uni becoming more useless?
Oh, this is great. Shall I start or you?
You can start. I mean, we've got someone here who I know has got a really strong opinion on uni.
I think, right, personally, if you know what you want to do, go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm someone, this is me personally speaking, I'm someone that values experience because I think that's a form of education, of not necessarily formal education, but I think experience is a form of education. I was someone who always, you know, people around me told me to go to uni, etc., X, Y, Z, whatever. I always looked at uni as something that I would do if I wanted to go into something really specific. If I wanted to be a lawyer, if I wanted to be a doctor, if I wanted to be almost anything that I knew, I would go to uni. And I'm really lucky that I had supportive parents. When I told them I didn't want to go to uni, they were like, yeah, that's cool. But, you know, you got to make something of yourself. So I think it's not useless. Let's get that straight. I don't think uni is useless. But I think we, as young people, we're not told enough about it.
Yeah.
We're not told enough about apprenticeships or other routes you can go down. I think there's this culture of you go through your formal education, right? Sixth form, uni, do your 3 years, get a degree, come back, and you do like a filler job for a while, and then you go into your career potentially not.
With a massive debt hanging over your
I think
shoulders.
there's a lot of that.
Jay goes to uni.
There's a lot of
and he has
that.
a strong opinion about it.
There's a lot of that culture around it, and I think that shouldn't be the case. I don't think it's useless, but I think people aren't told of the realities of uni. They're not told that you're going to be very highly independent. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but they're not told that the work is a certain way. They're not told that when you get your degree or you've done your 3 years or whatever, you're going to go to a potential employer and they're going to go, well,
where's your experience?
We want someone with a bit more experience, but you've been getting 3 years of learning.
It's a perfect catch-22 because
exactly,
and it's the same in the acting industry, and I can only speak as an actor as well, who, when I was seeking representation, I'm lucky enough to have representation now. You go to an agent going, I need representation, I'm an actor. And they go, right, can we see some stuff that you've been in? And I go, well, no, that's kind of your job to get me work so I can show you stuff to be in. They go, well, we can't take you on because you've been in nothing. I.e. you have no experience in the acting industry. So it's really hard for up and coming actors, especially out of drama school. And I think, and this is where I'm very, not anti-uni, but again, I'm exactly with you. It's not useless if you're going for something specific. I think it's really good for actors and it's really bad for actors. I think it's really good for filmmakers and I think it's really bad for filmmakers. I think it's great for lawyers. I think it's great for anyone in the science, you know, wanting to become a professor, study that.
Yes.
It's not useless, but, and this is something I was saying to you, I think, where I was saying like, schools are a business now. And the way that they advertise themselves is how many kids they send to uni.
The door?
How many went to Oxford? How many went to Cambridge?
There you go.
The more that they say, the more eager parents, younger eager parents as well sometimes, will force their kids to follow that route. I didn't go uni. I will be lying if I said there wasn't times where I went, fuck, am I wasting my life by not going uni? I see all my friends at uni. But I've done quite a bit out of uni and not going to uni and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think it's useless.
It's not, it's a personal thing. I think if you know what you want to do and you don't think you need uni, then don't do it. If you do, by all means, do it. But don't go because it's what everyone else is doing or what your parents expect of you. It's your life. You don't want to look back after a year and drop out or whatever and look back after 3 years and go, actually, I don't really want to do this degree. I want to go in the complete opposite direction. That's what I think is detrimental to a lot of young lives.
And that's why I encourage gap years. And that's why I'm like,
Yes.
And the true story is like, for me, it was like, I'll take a gap year and then I'll probably go to uni. And I didn't. I'm on a permanent gap year. But
For the rest of your life.
for the rest of my life. But what I found is that I can actually explore the industry I want to get into.
Yes.
And in doing so, I discovered my love for football again, i.e. I coach now. I discovered my passion for filmmaking a little bit more and not just writing. I found my passion for acting again because I wasn't going to go to a drama school.
What were you going to do out of interest?
In uni?
Yeah.
English lit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't want to do filmmaking. I don't know what, I didn't like the idea, and I'm not shitting on you because you do a filmmaking course, but I didn't want someone telling me how I should make a film, but I wanted someone telling me how to study story.
From my experience, granted it's in COVID, I feel like I'm doing a philosophy degree. No, genuinely, because a lot of old school filmmaking is about philosophy. When you look at video essays, people talk about cinematographers, it's all about philosophy, how philosophy versus gear.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, if you're lost in your life and you're interested in something, like, so filmmaking, if you're interested in it, go to uni. It'll either drive you to make something,
Or drive you to madness.
or it will kill your passion.
No, it's true.
I think that's a great way of putting it. It's like a sink or swim type thing. And I've been in that situation so many times.
Thank you, Jay, by the way.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable anecdote, because not going into too much detail, but with football, for me, it was like that. I've got to this place now where I'm blessed to be, but it was like, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this because it's what people expect of me? And at times it felt like the latter. It felt like you said, it was it drives you and you go, oh, yes, or you kind of get into the reality of it.
I know a lot of people that
like,
have gone to uni and gone, I fucking regret it.
It was like, no, like, that's not me.
Yeah.
But then again, it's the fact that you took the jump and you were brave enough to do it, and you discovered that it wasn't for you. I think young people just need to be a lot braver, man.
It's
honestly.
hard to be brave when, to be brave, you need to pay 27 grand as well.
True. And when society's telling you to be a certain way, like, people throw so much hate on young people all the time, Like, the amount of times that I've been told that I don't act like a typical young person or whatever, like, what does that even mean? What is a typical young person? Like, people put so much pressure on us to get our life together so early, but life is what you make of it.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to get out there and do things.
I think we're finding a period in time now where young people are actually, and I say young people, but I don't even know what age
What does that even mean?
Like, is young people 13? Is young people, because Billie Eilish, fucking goat, and Post Malone. I'd have to throw that in there in case they're watching. Billie Eilish was 13 when she wrote Ocean Eyes, right? And I said this in another podcast I was in. Was she a young person, or was she a young person?
Yeah.
But she done something. She made a song that some 24-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds couldn't write.
Yeah.
Filmmakers nowadays, everything that you see going viral on Twitter was made by 20-year-olds. Are they young people or are they young adults?
Like, yeah.
So how do you class a young person
That's
anymore?
That's a great notion.
And also, we're going through a period in time where YouTube is I was fucking struggling for words. Essentially, a university course. If I need to find something to do on in editing software, I go to YouTube. How to do this?
Because there's someone that will have done it.
Yeah.
And is telling you.
Exactly. And uni for me, and the reason I didn't want to do a filmmaking course was because I would be in front of a lecturer who would be going, this is how I think you should make a film. And it's one person's opinion. And I don't know how the uni system really works. I'm a bit confused. Like, I know you go to lectures and you do an exam and you do this, that, and the other, and some are more practical based, but it's one lecturer, but you have different lecturers, but one for each topic essentially, right?
Yeah, it's more like they don't tell you how to make a film.
They tell you how they made a film.
They tell you they they like provoke your mind in certain ways. So it's like, well,
Which I think isn't a bad thing, but
it's not bad, but it's like, I don't know. For me personally, I feel like a lot of my uni course has been like, yeah, just
go out and do it.
not even that. It's fuck off in your rooms and just look at books. And I'm like, well, that's not why.
It's not the essence.
Yeah.
It's not the essence of the reason you took the course, is it?
Honest question to Jay now.
Mm-hmm.
Is uni worth $9,500 a year?
For me, no.
Okay.
If you know me like on a
Personal basis.
like on a personal level, you know how much I love cinematography and film. I'm dreading going back to university.
Wow. That's very open from you. Yeah, no, I completely hear you. And this is something me and you talk about all the time. And this is why I'm really happy you're here today. Because you, it'll be interesting down below. Let me know, guys. Is uni worth it? It's a really interesting topic.
Really interesting thing to unpick.
I still stand by, it's a brilliant idea. It hasn't been executed properly.
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree.
I think that's a nice way to sum it up. I think it's a brilliant idea. Go and study something you really love for 3 years. But this is something we were talking about in the car. Yeah. And we won't name names, but someone you know has recently lost their passion for something they love.
Yes.
Yeah? Because of uni.
Yeah.
Because she's
forced to do something she doesn't want to. Or it's like, for me, I struggle very much in academia. So like, all of like academics. Hence why I fell in love with film. Because I didn't want to do paperwork. Obviously, like granted, like there's laws and stuff, you're gonna have to do paperwork. I don't want to write a 5,000 word essay on, I don't know, some guy named Bob who invented the camera.
Yeah.
But if you I struggle to write essays. But if you look at my script writing, I write not trying to be vain, but like you've seen my first script.
Yeah.
And I write for someone who's definitely above my level or what I should be. Because I enjoy it.
Well, something you said that was really nice to me, and I'm not just saying this to boost my own ego, but you said you learned a lot from myself about script writing.
Yeah, of course.
And I learned a lot from you about filmmaking. I learned a lot from you about football and the industry and how it works. And I remember the talks we had about the way the actual footballing industry works. The amount you learn from people, not from teachers, is very interesting. And uni's great for that because you're around 30, 40, 100 people your age. You're also in a place where you're gonna not be forced to socialize, but kind of
is
encouraged, right? 99% of people that go to unis will drink, party, and have fun. I think about 80% of the people that go to uni actually go for that. I think that's a big factor in their decision.
Getting away.
And I'm like, mate, I can rock up to a uni party and not pay 27 grand for it, but no.
Each their own.
I got weird looks because I was like, I don't want to go to this party because I want to study.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
It's the culture, isn't it?
I'm older than
Yeah.
four fans.
You're not that older. You're not how old are you again?
Well, I'll be
34.
23. No, I'll be 23 in July, but
That's not old.
That is not. That's talking about old. That's
but
talking about old.
like 18, 19.
But that's what I love about uni as well. A 23-year-old can go into their first year of uni. A 40-year-old can go into their first year of uni. I like that.
You can always go. Uni will always be there if you want it.
Not everyone can go, let me pay 27 grand now. Let me get a student loan at 50. It doesn't. And something I was saying, and what was really like the nail of the coffin of like, I'm never going to uni, was the way they treated people during COVID.
Yeah, no.
The way that students were carried and helped, which was none. There was no guidance. There was no help. They were saying and you can, chime in if you think I'm talking absolute shit, but I think they didn't help at all. I think unis put students in the mud. I think there was no help. There was no guidance. Yes, we were facing unprecedented times and we didn't really know what was happening, but take away the money. Again, we were kind of talking about this last week. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Correct, yeah.
All right, Spider-Man.
You're the only one that picked up that was from Spider-Man, by the way.
Is it from Spider-Man? That's been a saying for years. It's not just from Spider-Man.
Nah, Spider-Man made it. Uncle B.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, yeah.
Interesting.
Uncle B, Uncle Ben with great power
comes
great responsibility.
But the way they handled their students or even helped or tried to help I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. It was
poor.
Shit. really, 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 really shit. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not going uni. Because if that's how they treat people during
the hardest of times.
Yeah. They're not going to look after you. That's it. They're not going to look after you. They're going to shoo you into a room and tell you to read a book.
I feel like to some extent, you're just another number. And I still remember my English teacher in year 11 told me this, and it's stuck with me ever since.
Oh, I love this guy.
She said,
oh,
nah.
I'm talking about
that was year 8.
Oh, okay. That
in
guy's
year
a
11.
fucking G.
He's a legend. Ziggy Moore, he's an absolute legend. But she said, you're just another number. And I was like, yeah, I actually am. Like, after I leave this school, they're not really going to care about me because they've almost fulfilled their duty, which is just to teach me things and to make sure I do well in my GCSEs or whatever. After that,
until you're famous.
Until
you're famous.
Yeah. But
and then suddenly everything was by them.
Yeah, but they won't care. And she said it to me straight up. She's like, honestly, like, Paul, like, I wouldn't stress too much about this because you don't really mean anything to us. She didn't obviously mean it like that in the callous way that I said it, but it's true. I was just another number, just another kid through the door. They're gonna get 1,000 more Paul Gialos through the door the next year. Well, there's only one of me, but they're gonna get 1,000 more kids through the door next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. And I still feel like you're a statistic. Oh, X% of students at this college or X%
how many times do we see that every year?
This university got this grade. Like, you're a number. And I'm sure that there's tutors out there and there's people out there who genuinely care about the individual. But for me, from the outside looking in, and this is probably perhaps not the best way to look at it, but I see sometimes people as just another number being pushed through the system, being pushed through the narrative of you work hard, you go to uni, you get this almost this American dream type thing where it's like, if you work hard, you will get what you put in.
Yeah.
But that's not always the reality because people are at disadvantage. People are at disadvantages all the time.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
And do you know what I find funny as well is like, and we were talking about this the other night on a call, weren't we, with producer for the next film we're working on. We were saying it's funny for years, people who can't afford private school, right, go through the comprehensive system and then are forced to pay for private school for 3 years because university is essentially a private school, right?
Yeah.
You're paying for schooling.
Yeah.
That's private school. And so suddenly everyone that shitted on private school for 16 years, 18 years goes, but I'm going to go to my private school now.
Because everyone else is doing it.
And because everyone else is doing it.
It's
and it's this mob mentality. And I go back to the school looks good if you go. So the school are going to tell you it's the best thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have one person in my sixth form go to me. Actually, I remember the day I told some teachers I'm not going to university and they gave me the dirtiest look.
I still get it from
all the time,
but from certain family,
all the time.
Not my immediate family, but family members have called my mum and gone, "Why is he not going to uni?" Someone in my class said that I was wasting my talent and my knowledge by not going to uni. Like, what?
I think. Do you know what it is? So because obviously I come from a clear conscience, it's because I'm spending 20 grand, 30 grand, and you're not. So it's this weird mentality of people being like, well, why does he get to be rich and famous and he's not spent 20 grand?
Yeah.
It's that, yeah.
But it's not just 20 grand. It's a lot more than that.
Well, 20 grand a year.
Yeah.
20 grand, your mental health, your time, it's
and all the other expenses because you haven't worked.
Yeah.
Like some people get Saturday jobs, but uni's exhausting. It's hard work.
It is.
Like, obviously, I'll definitely go into more detail if I
Yeah.
get a chance.
Jay will be coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Right. Yeah, I think we summed that up.
Yeah.
I think we made some good points there. Jay, thank you for chiming in there.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Uni isn't worthless, isn't useless.
But make sure you go for the right reasons.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to a new topic.
Let's do it.
Okay, we've got loads.
Watch Snowfall.
I need to watch that, you know.
Bro.
I need to watch that.
Like 4 seasons so far, hasn't had a bad season yet.
Damson Idris is just amazing, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's just a goat.
Unbelievable.
I need to watch that. Have you watched The Sopranos?
Oh, well, I've started The Sopranos.
Best show on
this guy loves The Sopranos. Like,
Tony Soprano is my hero.
Loves it.
James Gandolfini and Tony Soprano are my heroes.
Do you know? So this morning, I tweeted something with a James Gandolfini gif.
First person on it.
With the
him Him smoking a cigar outside the...
Now, it had nothing to do with The Sopranos. This guy retweeted it just because it was him. Just because
the guy's my banner on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. It had nothing to do with The Sopranos or anything. I think it was about Man United, but he retweeted
I don't care.
it. He just saw him and he was like...
If Tony Soprano was a Man United fan, I'd probably convert.
But
Tony Soprano's a GOAT.
I'm a few episodes in now, to be fair. He has been telling me to watch it for a while, but...
I've been telling everyone I know to watch the show.
Good.
Shall I tell you why? And it's a point that will come in a bit, because I do want to cover something around that area. But it was so ahead of its time, that show. And James Gandolfini as an actor as well, he epitomized what acting is. And what that was everyone thought Tony Soprano was a real person. Everyone thought James Gandolfini was really Tony Soprano in real life. But in real life, he was nothing like Tony Soprano. He was, and I'm not saying Tony Soprano is like this horrible guy, because when you watch the show, you understand a lot of why he does what he does and why he's a mobster, and it's a beautifully written show. But the acting, let's go to the acting, right? To be filmed, I think it was in 98. Was it 98? I can't remember. He did everything that, as an actor, I want to do, which is when people meet me in the street, if I was acting as Tony Soprano, I want them to think I'm Tony Soprano.
Yeah. You become that person.
But then when I actually talk to them, they go, oh shit, you're nothing like that in real life.
You to be like
he
this,
was the nicest, he was actually quite shy as a person. But Tony Soprano would sit back in the chair and look at you and you know you're fucked.
Bravado, yes.
And he was this massive guy and his hands were apparently like bear claws, right? And he's a soul that we lost way too soon.
Yeah, agreed.
Way too soon, because this guy had such a career ahead of him. And, you know, he did Tony Soprano and then he did The Mexican, which was a film about a gay mobster, a gay hitman, sorry. And I watched his Inside the Actor Studio, and it's the first, I've watched all of them nearly, but here's one I've watched about 4 times because this guy just inspires me. And he was shooting it and almost walked away from it because he was like, I'm not doing it justice. And even that, as an actor, I feel that sometimes. I get a script for an audition and I go, I'm not doing it justice, I'm not doing it justice. To know that James Gandolfini was doing that and almost walked away from how much money he was getting on for that, that's inspiring. Yeah. But this man was just, what he did for communities and for the army in America as well was just...
Stuff like that increases your love for the art.
Oh my God.
For the art.
That show, yeah, I can say this. Like, because do I really mean this? Yeah. The Sopranos affirmed for me that I want to work in that industry. Because there was a time where I was like, am I really having fun creating stories, writing scripts, acting, or is it like something I'm been told I'm talented at and want to pursue? Kind of like uni, you're talented, you should go study it. I watched The Sopranos and I went, if I can have, again, going back to the beginning of the podcast, the same effect on one person like this show has had on me, I've done my job. This show has inspired me as a man, as a writer, as an actor, and as a director. Just how it tells a story, how it makes you laugh and then makes you cry, how it makes you angry and then sad. It takes you through a whirlwind of emotions that is just beautiful. And it's written by someone who didn't have a history in writing stories either. And again, that's inspiring. Just brilliantly put. And if you watch the reunion that they did last year or the year before, and you watch them all a lot older now, they're still these quirky characters and they're so different to the characters they played on screen. The best show that is ever great. And if it wasn't for that show, we would never have got Breaking Bad. We would have never have got Game of Thrones. Because when George R.R. Martin pitched to HBO, this is why we should do Game of Thrones, he said, it's the Sopranos set in a medieval world. When Breaking Bad was invented, it was a story about an anti-hero. The Sopranos was the first TV show about an anti-hero. We would have never have got Dexter. I don't know if you've ever watched Dexter.
Dexter's unreal.
Brilliant show.
Terrible
but we would
ending.
never have got it without...
I hated the ending so
Let's
much.
not talk about the Game of Thrones ending.
Oh, yeah.
Just not.
That's a whole
podcast
topic, yeah.
If it wasn't for The Sopranos, we would never have got these shows. And that is a testament in the TV space. So shout out James Gandolfini and the family.
Hats off. Big time.
Best show of all time.
I'm really look forward to watching more.
When you get to... what season did I love the most? Season 4 was great.
Cool.
Season 4 was great. But even season 1's great. Like, it was the first time... Like, when I started Game of Thrones, everyone was like, wait until you get to season 3, episode 9. I was like, fucking hell, that's 29 episodes.
Ages away.
Sopranos, wait until you get to the end of the season. You're going to go, what?
Say less.
Best show
Say
ever.
less.
Yeah.
I really want to watch The Sopranos.
I will happily watch an episode with you tonight.
Cold.
I will happily go back to the beginning and watch it. Best pilot episode. Breaking Bad had the best pilot episode, but The Sopranos is just amazing. Okay. We've got some more topics in. We've got one that's just a statement and just a topic that someone wants as a thing. What's it like becoming an adult? And what does being an adult mean?
That sounds, yeah. Wow. That is really loaded. It's a very subjective term.
Mm-hmm.
Legally, you're an adult when you're 18, but different circumstances force different people to become adults at different times. I feel like an adult, but I don't think I will be there yet until I'm in a situation in my life where I'm completely independent. But then again, it's about, what does that word adult mean? Like, you know, in a situation where I won't have to rely on my dad to help me pump up a flat tire. Like,
I can't pump up a flat tire.
I did that the other day for the first time after he showed me. And I felt
Didn't you put on your
like
story that I'm an adult now?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like,
Funny.
big man. I'm a big man. But like, for me, it's where I can almost, I'm speaking purely from my point of view, I can repay, not in monetary terms, everything that every other adult has done for me.
Yeah.
So if it's my mum, if I can look after my mum, be it financially, emotionally, whatever it is, if I can look after my dad, if I can look after my uncles or my aunties or my friends,
I feel that.
That for me is, because I feel like the whole idea of being an adult is giving.
Yeah.
It's giving time, giving attention, giving love.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably won't feel like an adult until I can do that.
I completely agree with you. I think something I discovered about myself, and again, going back to when I discovered that I actually want to do this as an industry and why I want to be successful, whether it be financially, emotionally, mentally, or anything like that. However, you old man, you adult, you old man,
adult. Still see me.
Was the moment I felt like I became an adult was when I stopped being selfish and became selfless.
It's that whole giving, isn't it? Yeah.
Suddenly something changed in me when I turned 20. I turned 21, but when I turned 20, I suddenly went, oh, it's not that it doesn't matter what I feel, it's how I make others feel that really makes you feel special. And this is something I'm really working on, because growing up I felt like I was, you know, for circumstances that, you know, doesn't matter, but I felt like I was very selfish. I was very like mine, even from a child, like my toy. I remember me and my friend, we would always battle out who had Miley Cyrus and who had Selena Gomez on their wallpapers of their phones. This is a true story, by the way. And we had those Motorola flip phones. And if I had Selena Gomez, shout out Selena Gomez if you're still watching. If you're watching,
good choice. Good choice.
I love you. She was my first love.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Selena Gomez was my first love. I can say that hand on heart. But I had her on my thing, and my mate had Miley Cyrus. And one day he put Selena Gomez on his wallpaper, and I went, "What are you doing?
No,
you can't do that. You can't do that.
Do them things."
And he went, "Oh no, you know, I thought it was a good picture of her." We're like 6 years old, all right, and like I flipped out, but I was so like, "That's mine. Like that's my love. That's you know." And I was about that with everything, like going like, I remember in drama class, and this is something that quickly came to mind as well, like, and my drama teacher called me out about it. We did a performance, and he was like, "Oh, it was a really good choice that you, as a group, it was a really good choice that you did that." And I went, "Yeah, that was my idea."
Oh.
And he went, "I don't care whose idea it is," and that didn't clock in yet. I'm trying to think of some other example, but you know what I mean. Like it was always like, "Oh, I did that. I can do this. It's about me. I need to be the striker on the pitch. I need to be the main actor."
Yeah.
And then suddenly, and it took me a long time. And this is where I felt like I'm going towards adulthood, because I'm suddenly like, it doesn't matter And actually, funny enough, I was in the post office the other day, and there was this older man sending a parcel to somewhere. And the first thing that the post office man said to him was, "How are you?" And he goes, if I complain, no one's going to hear me. No one's going to listen. And I went, okay, cool. That's interesting. If you complain, no one's listening. No one's going to hear you. Cool. Interesting. So if no one's listening...
If a tree falls down in the forest and there's no...
Oh, here we go. Fucking hell. How many times have I heard this one? But what I'm trying to get at is the moment I feel like I'm on the journey to adulthood, or maybe I'm there, or maybe I'm not, is that I'm starting to think about everything I do. I'm thinking a lot more about the others first and then myself second.
That's really interesting, because I feel like my journey to adulthood was almost the other way. Did we have the same drama teacher? Are we talking about the same person?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So,
what a guy.
He's unbelievable.
I've got to say as well, my drama teachers, and I don't want to shout their names out in case they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them again, I wouldn't be aspiring to be an actor. So big thank you for them.
I don't want to go into that industry, but without tooting my own horn, I was quite good. But that was testament to my... Hey. They'll be watching and they're testifying.
They are, look, what they did for me as a person and as an actor as well.
The most amazing,
I think that
performing
school,
arts department. I think both of my schools that I went to, we went to the same school a little bit. Performing arts department, unreal, and performing arts department, unbelievable. They've done so much.
I think what the arts can do for people individually as well is just huge. I think that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
But my journey was almost the other way. I was really selfless and really quite mature as a kid, and the teacher, same teacher as you, sat me down. It was a parents' evening. And
oh my God, I think I've got the exact same story you're about to say.
My dad was there, wasn't really listening. Like, everyone tells, all the teachers used to tell me my dad was intimidating, but he's the funniest guy ever. But he was there and he was like, we didn't even talk about like my progress in drama or whatever, because that was always good. He was like, yeah, I really like you. Like, I really like you. I think you're a good kid, but you know, you're getting to that stage now where you've got to let people know what you're about. You've got to come into your own. You've got to kind of stop being too selfless and be a bit selfish. You've got to own the fact that you are good at stuff. Like, you've got to own the fact that you can do this. You know, you've got to be more confident, because people think you're a pushover, or people think, you know, I don't want to keep being surprised by you. That's exactly what he said. He said, I don't want you to not put your hand up in lesson and then come up with this amazing work. Yeah. I want you to establish from the get-go what you're about a bit more. Not so much that you become cocky, but so much that you kind of give people a taste of what you're about. And ever since then, everything I do, I'm not cocky with it, but I'm confident in my ability. But I make sure that that's in a way that doesn't make me come across to the next person as I think I can do it all. But if it can inspire the next person, or if I can pitch myself in a way that helps the other person, then I'm all for that. I'll never ever go, you know, I'll do this, I'll take over, blah, 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 blah. I'll go, right, what are you great at? And I can try and help where I can. Yeah. Or you go first, you do this. Or I'm really good at this. I can do perhaps things that people feel uncomfortable with. But that's kind of adulting for me. It's like you say, it's putting others before yourself. But I kind of found it the other way around.
Yeah. It's funny because I've got a completely different parents' evening story with the same teacher. This teacher's getting a massive shout out tonight.
A crazy shout out.
But again, it was a moment in my life, and I was in year 8.
I was in year 8 as well.
I think something happens to you in year 8 because it's the year where
it's the bridge of the.
It's like you're not studying towards anything. You can kind of fuck about and find who you're going to be in your school years a little bit. I mean, I don't know the school system now. I don't know if in year 8 you actually do have important exams or anything like that.
Ask my brother.
But like for me, I just fucked about that year. That parents' evening for me, and I hope he's all right with me telling this story. But we're not saying his name, so he should be fine. But word for word, he said, "Yeah, I don't like your son." Genuinely, and this is where it hit home for me. Right. By the way, I love this teacher. I'm not upset that he said this. If anything, I'm the happiest man that he said this. He said, I don't like your son. He's talented and he likes to tell everyone about it, kind of thing. And he went on a nice thing. And I remember sitting there going, oh, fuck, I'm about to ask him if I can do drama for GCSE. And he's going to reject me. And oh, fuck, I really need to change my. So I started changing and I started getting a little bit thing. And yeah, that was a really big turning point for me because I went, oh, the person that says yes to me doing GCSE drama isn't going to accept me on because of the way I behave. And it was just a big turning point for me in that parents' evening. But it made me look at why I was a cocky, arrogant, confident wanker. I look back at year 8 Adam and I don't like him. And a lot of people said, and you said actually the first time we met, when I first met you, I didn't like you.
I think that's a me thing though.
No. A lot of people said that about me because, and without trying to get too therapist-y into it, I think a lot of the reasons I was a confident, arrogant, and I sometimes try to overconfidence myself was because I was always trying to be the guy that would please people. And the reason I'd go, that's mine, I did that, was because I wanted people to be proud of me. And I wanted that glorification. And that sounds awful. And I'm still on the journey to find out why. But I think I kind of know and I think I kind of don't.
Yeah.
But the moment I became an adult was when I went, if you complain, if you glorify yourself, no one's going to listen.
No one cares. No one cares.
No one cares. And it's not that no one cares, but even if they do listen, they're going to listen to the why, not to the what.
What? Yeah, right.
So I'm starting to focus on what I'm doing. I'm starting to focus on why I'm doing things, not what I'm doing.
That's a big, I'll always circle back to this in anything I do. It's my why.
Yeah.
Why do I get up out of bed every day and do what I do? It always circles back to that. Like I was saying this a couple of days ago, but we brought a proposal to the table for someone in a meeting, and everyone was just discussing like financials and logistics and semantics and whatnot. In my head, I was going, I don't care. Like, it's obviously important, but this is boring. Like, this isn't my why. Yeah. My why is I want to do XYZ for XYZ to bring XYZ to XYZ. Like, all of this, all that other BS, financials and logistics.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I know my why, and that's why we're having this conversation. Yeah. And I can vouch for you being not cocky, but I knew you were really confident the first time I met you. First
memory I have of you is in the changing room of a competition.
Can we give some context?
Yeah.
Wait, changing room of a competition.
The room was dark and thunder went.
Days.
No, the first memory I have of you is our school entered a national dance challenge.
I actually love that competition.
Fucking great competition.
I'm so disappointed.
Rock challenge. It's called Rock Challenge. If your school doesn't do it, fucking tell them to.
It's gone, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll talk about it after.
Oh. Oh shit, that's really upset me. Way to fucking stab me in the heart.
Sorry.
First memory I have of you is Rock Challenge rehearsals. It's lunchtime and you're doing like the announcing of it.
Co-host.
And I was just acting in it. We weren't doing a lot. So we were just sitting on the sideline, just kind of watching the dancers. That sounds weird. Watching the dancers dance.
Oh my days.
I'm making this worse.
You do not want to see what this guy just did off camera. That's digging a hole of him.
And then it went to lunchtime and we all chilled in the changing room. And you decided to mime Adele.
I actually remember this.
Hello. And I've got the video somewhere on my phone and I will find it.
That is brilliant.
It's brilliant video of you. And I went, this guy's a fucking legend and I will be his friend.
Good times, man. It's good times.
That's the first memory I have of you. But yeah, I was a cocky, arrogant, and I can say this now because I'm an adult, it came from falsehoods. It wasn't real. It was a chance for me to try and make people proud of me, and I by force and overstepped the barrier. And it was because I thought I was an adult and I wasn't, because I never thought about the other man. I only thought, how can I make this person proud of me?
Yeah.
I am the most important.
And that was almost your why and your what at the same time. Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's, why do I do the things I love, and how can I help others? How can I inspire others? How can I bring people to this table and have a genuine conversation, and maybe expand their platform or learn things? And I think that's when I became an adult.
No, great show.
Cool. We're going to figure out the cameras, and then we'll be back because we've got a little bit of time left. Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? Well, eat some bloody food.
No, you said get some bloody food in you.
Oh, for God's sake.
Right. We're in the last stretch of this episode. This episode's been fun. This one's all about...
I've enjoyed it, man.
This episode's all been about growth.
Yeah, the pace is changed, but
Yeah.
it's good.
It's all about...
I really like it.
And the crazy thing is, there's so many more questions to answer. There's so many topics that people want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Please send them in. Keep sending them in. Just message me. DM me or Paul. Email the email below. And if you're on Spotify or iTunes, it's the Untitled Podcast at hotmail.com. Because we're not just in the UK.
Yes, sir. Whoa, wide.
Okay. I got 2-3 more that we can probably squeeze in the last 15 minutes. But before we begin, there's a sound effect that I've discovered and I think needs to be played.
So last week it was
He has to go blood.
Allegri blood.
This week,
Daddy, chill.
Daddy chill.
What the hell is even that?
Daddy chill.
What a great video.
If you say anything in the next 15 minutes that I think warrants a daddy chill, it's being played.
say less.
Okay. Since we've been talking about adulthood, say I'm coming out of uni. Is it better to start a business or to be a 9-to-5er?
Great question. Now, I'm no guru or expert by any means, but again, it just comes back down to do what feels right. I do hate that there's a stigma around a 9-to-5. There's this culture of you're going to work every day to work for someone else, blah, blah, you're not enjoying life. There's 9-to-5ers that make 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
There's 9-to-5ers that make 50 grand a year or even 20 grand a year, but are really happy.
I think that's a perfect point. That's an exceptional point. And then again, going back to when I discovered I want to be an adult, it's like, it's a typical of like, I don't think it's not money doesn't matter. It's that happiness over everything.
Always.
If I'm doing something that I'm not happy, I don't care how much money, like I can say from experience, I've edited projects that I've been like, yeah, it's paying me, so I'm really not passionate about it. I'm really not happy I'm doing this. And I will long out the process. I will move on to things that I'm more passionate about. I'll probably do some things for free that I'm more passionate about and more happy about. Happiness over everything, man.
Big facts. I think if you're coming out and if you take...
Coming out?
Wow.
If you're coming out
Phrasing.
And, you know...
Phrasing. I don't even want to let you finish that sentence. Do what feels right. Do what you want to do. Like I said, there's 9-to-5s that pay 300 grand a year.
Yeah.
There's businesses that have a loss. Most businesses have a loss in the first year, but there's businesses that are failing, but as long as the person's happy.
I know a lot of people that have started a business and fucking hate it as well. Like a lot of people that start a business and go, yeah, I'm not happy.
Not for me.
I mean, all of them have lost their hair by the fucking age of 30 because they're all like, oh, fucking hell, this is stressful.
Do what makes you happy.
Exactly.
Happiness, like you said, happiness.
I don't think there is a right structure to life.
Not a chance. This is everyone's first and only shot. Well, depending on your religious and cultural beliefs, but this is your first and only shot at life.
Yeah.
There's no manual. That's what I detest. I hate the fact that people think there's a structure to life in terms of you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. You got to have kids at this age. You got to get married at this age. You got to go to uni at this age. You got to work at this age. You got to retire at this age. Do what you want, man. That's actually my life motto. I think it's my biggest life lesson. Like, if you're not, as long as you're not hurting people, and as long as you're happy, do whatever it is you want. And hurting people includes, hurting yourself, almost emotionally. You're putting too much stress on yourself. But if you're not hurting people and you're happy,
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. And I apply that rule in my head to everything I do.
And it's crazy because I mean, I don't know how many times you get advertised these seminars of like, are you, people walking out of their expensive car? Are you a hungry, determined person?
Oh, yeah.
Did you not earn enough money last year? Come on my day trading course and you will earn
Ponzi
so much money.
and that, yeah.
Like, and all of these things are like, you need to be a business owner to be successful in life, right? And then
CEO is the aim or whatever
and
it
they're
is.
suckered in by people who aren't happy because they followed the model of life. Whereas if we encourage people to just chase happiness, and this is something that my dad and mum are really instilling into me now that I'm coming into my 21 onto 30, fucking hell.
It's going to be a massive decade for you, man. Massive little...
I'm going to be 30 in 10 years. Jesus Christ.
I'm still a spring... Actually, to be fair, I'm not far behind.
No.
What am I doing? What am I talking
You're going to be
about?
30 in 7 years.
Bye.
Fucking old wanker.
Oh my god.
I'm really proud of myself. I haven't said the word today. Oh, fuck.
Oh, whoa. Beep. God damn, man. Damn.
Yeah, I agree. Chase happiness. And this is why I wanted to do a podcast. It makes me happy. Our conversations, the conversation that me, you, and Jay had in that car. Go back to that.
Yeah,
That was great.
unbelievable.
That made me happy, and I went, if I can do this on a weekly basis or whenever we do it, I'm happy. And if it helps someone out there, or someone just eating their dinner wants to hear it in the background, or wake up in the morning and listen to my weird voice, driving in the car, whatever, I'm happy.
That's it. Happiness over everything, man. Every single time.
I'm really jealous of, not jealous, but when I'm not doing something that I'm not happy and I see someone really happy, I'm jealous. I don't get envious of people that have money. I get encouraged. I get encouraged and I get like, yeah, I can do that. I can have those things because material things in life are nice. To say that we don't want money, I don't think is a lie.
Yeah.
I think is a lie.
Yeah.
But to chase purely money, you're never going to be happy.
No chance.
Because if you look at the richest people in the world, a lot of them do some fucked up shit.
You look at, even in football.
Yep.
How many footballers go bankrupt after their careers?
Fuck KSC.
Yeah. But like, money, if you just chase money, it won't make you happy.
No, agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely what I'd say. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, agreed. I think we summed that up really nicely.
Yeah, agreed.
We've got about 10 minutes left.
Cool. Let's
Should
whiz
we
through.
go? Just got one more question.
Let's whiz through.
Let's go for one more question. Feelings on BLM and whether it was a trend or not.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'll kick off. I think people have to understand that Black Lives Matter has been around for years. Colin Kaepernick kneeling during the national anthem happened for years. Basketball players.
When was the year it actually happened?
2015, I think.
Right.
Basketball players wearing T-shirts after another black person gets shot has been happening for years. Last year was like a watershed moment because George Floyd died.
Yeah.
That was a watershed moment. So it's never been a trend.
Yeah.
It's never been something that just passes and goes. People in America have been screaming for civil rights for years. And my thing is, right, the system, however you want to describe it, has been so cruel to black people, be it in Britain, be it in the US, that people almost wanted to, I don't want to say it was a trend, but people wanted to show solidarity, but never actually understood the ramifications of what was happening. Like, as harsh as it sounds, but in another dimension, right? You would get a job and I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because of my skin color.
Yeah, and that's fucked up to me.
That's so, like, think about that. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But people think, oh, it happened years ago. But the remnants of systemic racism are still here today. Like, I've got friends and cousins who will get told, oh, you can't wear your hair like that because it's unprofessional. My little cousin had to cut his hair at school because it was too long or it was distracting, whatever BS reason it was. But I think the whole Black Lives Matter movement wasn't a trend, never was a trend. It was about opening people's eyes up to the remnants of systemic racism, but more importantly, to the systemic racism, overt, covert, whatever it is, that happens still today.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I talk about it quite a lot, but I've been stopped and searched 3 times, bro.
Yeah, this is something we spoke about when we did Ripples together. So if anyone hasn't seen, go watch Ripples. It's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's a film that we created together. It was...
I'm really, really proud of that, bro. Honestly, I think...
Well,
I
for
can't
me,
thank you
it
enough.
was... I can't thank you. Because me and you write spoken word. You're very talented at it. And for ages, we were talking about one we wanted to create together, and I know we were going to do a different one at some point.
It wasn't quite
and we
right,
never
was
found
it?
the right moment. And then you sent me, it wasn't titled Ripples, it was untitled at the time.
It was, yeah.
Ironically.
There you go. That's the story of our lives, isn't it?
Just, yeah. And I remember, and this is no word of a lie, I'm not just saying that because you're here, and I've said it to everyone that I've ever spoke about. Well, the first time I read it, I had a tear in my eye because it really moved me. And I said to you, we need to do a film about this. And for me, it was, at the time, yeah, I can put a few social media posts up. Yeah, I can do I really want to put something out there that maybe makes one white person think about their privilege. That makes one person go, yeah, this shit isn't right. I mean, the reception we had from that film was
crazy,
amazing. Some film festivals want to show it and everything like that. It's absolutely exceptional, and I can't thank you enough for sharing your story in it.
I appreciate that, bro.
If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. Please leave your comments.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Just going back to what I was saying, like, I've been stopped and searched 3 times, right? And I couldn't even tell my mum or my dad. It was like, I don't necessarily have like, people will watch this. Go on.
I was going to say, like, in that moment, because you were quite young when you got stopped and searched, right?
First time I was 15 years old.
Going back to being an adult, didn't that moment feel really adult-like?
Grew up. And I joked about it before, like, old ladies, like, I used to come home from school from Stevenage. I used to be at Palmer's Green Station about 7 o'clock in the evening in the winter. People used to cross the road when I was walking down. Bear in mind, I was just in a hoodie or whatever. But back to the point, I think that was harrowing for me because I've never been involved in that kind of stuff. Like, I've never... People watch this and go, well, Stop and Search does X, Y, Z without understanding the reasons behind gang culture and warfare. It's a lot deeper than anyone realizes. And it comes back to the fact that, you know, it's not an accident that the majority of people who live in these areas in Tottenham, in South London, are black. It's not an accident that a lot of black people live below the poverty line. And if you live below the poverty line and you're in a certain area, and it's the reason that you won't really find a really expensive restaurant on Peckham High Road. It's like, if people aren't given a way out and they're forced to sell drugs or whatever, and that leads to violence, you only see the end product. Yeah, you don't understand what's a Carla puts this brilliantly.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the car the other day. We were driving and we saw a perfect image of London where we saw.
You were there, weren't you?
You was there when we saw like these really uncared for council estates.
Yeah, council estate, wasn't it?
In front of these beautiful new towered high. London buildings.
It was like,
and your first words were, "That's London."
Yeah,
and I went, "Yeah," and you jokingly, or someone jokingly said, the people that buy the people that sell the drugs and people that buy them,
people that buy the drugs,
and it's true. And something that we spoke about in the car as well is like, the police think they've done their job when they arrest the person selling the drugs, but they don't track the people that gave them the drugs, which typically are white males of the higher class system.
It's like, Akala put it brilliantly. Like, I don't know any black street pusher who owns an airplane or who has the connections to bring the coke in. Because if they did, I promise you they wouldn't be selling coke. It's the reason why drill rappers or grime rappers, when they make it, they don't make drill tunes. They don't live in the same area.
Of
like,
course.
Stormzy's gone clear.
Yeah.
Like, Stormzy's a millionaire now. And it's like, going back to the root of it, like, me being stopped and searched was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, people say, oh, bad apples, blah, blah, but there's certain jobs you can't have bad apples.
No.
And the last time I got stopped and searched was in 2018 or 19, either or. But it was outside Oxford University.
Wow.
Now, I'd gone to Oxford to just visit and have a look around. Go back to the uni thing, have a look around at uni. And I was looking for a Nando's because I knew there was one nearby. And he approached me, a police officer approached me and he said, I'm looking suspicious. But bear in mind, I was squinting trying to find the Nando's and like standing on a street corner. And he searched me right there and then in front of people who'd just been in the university with me, having a look around. Like, I felt so emasculated. I felt so dehumanized. I literally, like, there's times I think about it and I'm getting emotional now, but there's times I think about it and I just break down. For people to then, you know, when I see stuff happening like that and stuff coming into the mainstream media, for people to then go, oh, all lives matter. Yeah. Or to then throw it back in your face and go, well, you know, everyone's had it tough. You've got a chip on your shoulder or whatever. It's like, you really don't get it. And it's not a trend. It really is. It's not, I can't stress that enough. It's not a trend. It never was a trend. It's always happened. The movement has always been. Now there's conversations we had about the offshoots of the movement and the leaders and money or whatever. But at its core, at grassroots level, the message is simple. It is so simple.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. And it's not political or any other that BS that's in the media. It's the reality of a system that most of these people are part of creating. I've never seen a country like the UK to deny its racial history so ferociously. And it's like people are trying to open your eyes to what happens, what life is like for a black person, and you're just throwing it back in their faces. So I don't think it's a trend. And I think it's important, not only with black people, but people who are marginalized everywhere. I think it's important that we continue to not necessarily campaign, but to be aware of this stuff. If you are aware of it, you will check your own prejudices. You will have a think every single time. Why is that person doing this? Where is this coming from?
I ask people all the time, if there was a video of George Floyd, would Derek Chauvin have got arrested? Would he have been imprisoned? Would he have got sentenced? The answer is no.
No.
Because America is an institutionally racist country. And Americans would deny that.
Well, like a massive argument is, we're a little bit racist, but we're not.
We're not the most.
We're
racist.
not the most
We're not
racist.
America. Yeah, we're not America.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous.
And the fact that we have to compare to a westernized society.
It's ridiculous.
America, which is meant to be the forefront of the fucking world.
Built on the backs of slaves.
That we're not that racist.
Not that racist.
Oh no, fucking ridiculous.
We are a bit racist, but look at them. Like,
and I go back to, if there wasn't a video of George Floyd being murdered. Like, let's just take that. He was murdered, and it was a video of it, and there was still a fucking trial, and there were still people going, "Did he really kill him?" That is beyond me. That is absolutely absurd to me.
And like, the remnants of that, the systemic racism, like, I've got friends who weren't, like, I still remember, and this made me cry, like, in year 5, I met an old school teacher who used to teach me 2 years back, and he stopped my dad in Edmonton Green, and he said, you know, he's a really good kid, like, I love him. He changes the perception of black people in education. And I was like, what? But then I got it, like, the people who got excluded from my school, majority black. The people the troublemakers, majority black. But it's because there's this preconceived idea, there's this bias with black kids. You know, they're the most misbehaved, they don't achieve as well, without almost understanding why that may be.
Yeah.
And it's that's just a small pocket of society, but it's just stuff like that that makes you think. Like, black kids are disadvantaged even in education.
Yeah. So
imagine out there in the big wide world, you know, and it's not the overt racism. Oh, you're this, you're that. That in fact, sometimes that hurts even more. I'd rather someone call me a black so-and-so than be subtle about it and deny me the chance to make something of myself.
Because of preconceived racism that they don't believe they have.
Exactly. And they don't, that's a great point, bro. They don't believe it. Nah, I'm not racist because I don't say X, Y, Z. Yeah, I've got a black friend. Or I don't say X, Y, Z, so I'm not racist.
Yeah.
I don't say X, Y, Z, or I don't do this, so I'm not racist. I'm not as bad as him, so I'm not racist. But they'll still have this, like, I laugh at it all the time, but people say I speak like I'm white. Now, first of all, the notion that someone who comes across perhaps eloquent or whatever is white is anti-black in itself. But it's like I've heard white people say it to me like, "Oh, you're not like the others." Others? What the hell is that supposed to mean? But to them, that's not. They won't. That's not overt.
Won't clock
so
it.
It won't clock. And I genuinely, it makes me so sad, so sad. So no, it's not a trend, and it's not just Black Lives Matter, but injustices everywhere. You know, it's stuff that's going on in Palestine. Like, you've got to be aware of this stuff, but also aware of your effect on it. If you can change one thing in relation to that, that's real change. That's proper change. I don't know if you want to add anything more, bro, but
I think
that's how I feel about it.
I think I want to say thank you for being so open and sharing your
appreciate
story.
that, man. Yeah.
Every time you speak, I'm really inspired. I'm upset that we don't have any more time booked in, because that was
mad.
Yeah,
it was mad. About to blubber up, bro. About to cry.
Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate
you.
it. It's an important conversation.
It is. It really is, and I'm glad we talked about it. And I think it fits in nicely to what we've been talking about today, about becoming an adult. And thank you again for being so open.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you, man.
I love you.
Awesome.
We've unfortunately run out of time for today. I want to say a big thank you to Paul Gialo, I should say.
Giallo.
Jay Young for his amazing filmmaking skills. Thank you to all for the love so far, and we'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week, man. Let's do it.
This is the Untitled
Thank
Podcast.
you to Adam Savva.
Thank you to Paul Gialo. See
Peace.
you later. Thank you, man.
Hey,
You all right?
Appreciate that, bro. No, I'm all right, man.
Yeah? Good, man. Thank you for being so open.